It's showtime. Are you ready for this?
Okay. There's no way that audio is not echoing for people.
What do you mean? What audio?
The audio that's coming out of the computer that they're also listening to on the stream.
No, they said that it's fine.
They said that last time.
Hello, everyone.
I don't believe it. Hi.
Thank you so much for joining our live stream, Watercolor Happy Hour. If by chance the music in the background is interfering with your experience, please let us know. I've listened to our previous streams where we used this, and it was fine.
No way. You're supposed to be listening to that with the speakers on mute. Yolanda, wonderful to see.
Hi, Yolanda. Okay, will you help us with this?
Yeah.
Yolanda, honest opinion, is the music distracting? Can you hear it?
It's not distracting. They're supposed to hear the music, but they're probably hearing it twice.
Are you hearing the music twice?
Let's find out.
Yeah, we can find out.
I think that you're supposed to have those speakers on mute, on like these. How do you mute this thing? There. Like if you mute your speakers.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise it's going to loop.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to hear it twice. It's going to go boom, 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 boom,
boom.
Okay. Enough of that.
Yeah, thanks for doing your whole introduction.
Oh, I made it exciting and engaging with other people that do stuff. Oh, look at all these people.
Yes, thank you so much for joining.
Hello, everyone.
Today is a special day. It is Watermelon Day. It's National Watermelon Day. So we are celebrating it with a delicious cocktail. And by the way, Yolanda said it is not distracting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome because I turned it off. I muted it.
Okay, that's
It's still playing for that.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Even her kids say it's fun. Thank you, Yolanda's kids.
Thank you, Yolanda's kids. Oh, yeah, we have more of an audience.
Yes, thank you so much. So, we're excited. It's Watermelon Day. Dan is going to make a watermelon cocktail, and also could be a mocktail, right?
Absolutely.
For
this
Yolanda's
is
kids.
an easy mocktail.
Anyone who's tuning in with their kiddos, they can make a mocktail.
Yeah, or if they are not a mocktail person.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's not just for kids. Mocktails are for everyone.
But first, let me make sure that my hands are dry on this.
Yeah, make sure your hands are dry on this towel that is very absorbent. This episode is brought to you by Mamma Mia, who sponsored us with this watermelon. Thank you. Mamma Mia is Dan's mom. She's Italian, and she bought us this watermelon because we needed it for the live show.
As any Italian mother does, brings you food at any opportunity.
Yeah, she provided.
She provided.
Right, tell us about this cocktail, Dan. And I know you got like so many ingredients. Like, do not be phased. There is an easier option, right? You're going to show us a couple of
the easy way to do this cocktail is at its core, it's grapefruit juice, simple syrup, watermelon, tequila. And then anything else you add is like accoutrement. We're going to talk a lot about Amaro Nonino. I'm going to try to get this. He's going to get mad at me. Quintessence of Amaro Nonino is a wonderful Amaro. I love it, but the first thing I need to do is get this watermelon on this very hot grill that I have behind me. And the way that I get it is hot is one of these guys. These little laser infrared thermometers are the best $20 to $30 you can spend if you cook a lot on a cooktop, because you can see exactly how hot something is.
Yeah, very helpful. Oh wow, that's
and you can see that it's smoking lightly, and that means that it is approximately 500 to 600 degrees.
Wow.
And that is going to caramelize the heck out of this watermelon.
Wow.
So we want to see those nice little burn marks.
So what do you use? You use a grill, right?
Yeah, a grill, a pan, whatever. I mean,
it doesn't have to be a grill. It could be a pan.
Yeah, it can be a pan. It can be an actual grill too.
Yeah.
You want, like, those
We
little
don't have
lines.
a grill.
Yeah, we do not have a grill.
We do have a pan, but
So we got this guy. push that.
Oh, yay. Paul said he just sliced up some fresh watermelon. Yes, it is such a wonderful time of the year to celebrate watermelon. And I'm really excited. This weekend on Saturday, the Dallas Farmers Market is having its watermelon festival. And I may have designed some assets for them.
Some assets, the big banner of all the watermelon.
Yeah, but I'm excited to go and try out there's like 8 different Texas watermelon varieties, and like some are like orange, yellow, and they're so beautiful. It was so fun to illustrate them with watercolors, so I can't wait to actually try them.
Oh, they're very pretty. Even you almost the one the desert.
Oh yes, I did misspell the name of one, but they caught it.
Yeah.
They caught it. So yeah, it's Desert King, but I spelled it as dessert.
You want a color snack?
I do love my desserts, so you know.
Yeah, you know. Well, speaking of dessert and sweet, the first thing we're adding is some Margarita honey tequila. We used it before. This stuff is lovely, and also a lovely gentleman that is the owner that signed it. Volta. I forget his name. That is not an easy signature to read.
It's from Religion. That's the brand.
Religion. We're going to do about 1.5 ounces of that. It's very sweet, so you can bump it up if you like. I think it's 35% alcohol, so it's a little lower. We're going to do a nice little splash, just a 1/4 ounce of ancho Reyes. Ancho Reyes, as we talked about before, is a kind of a spicier liqueur. Yeah, and we can already smell that watermelon starting to caramelize. But then what I think goes so well with watermelon is Amaro Nonino, which is kind of an orange, but kind of just like an herbally digestive. You've seen it kind of become a bit more popular as of late in things like paper planes and other cocktails. But my gosh, and I encourage you all, go onto their website. It's called grappanonino.it, I believe, and you can see the family history. It is like the most Italian thing in the world, and I can say this as somebody who's from an Italian family. The whole thing is like, oh, well, look at this family that we have. Like, oh, and it's so dramatic. Like 5 times it says, like, the lady, I think her name was Gianna, but she was really the one, like in the I want to say like the 1930s. Like she was the one that really took it just from a bunch of dudes kind of messing around making grappa into an actual business. But they kept saying like, Gianna, a lovely cook and mother, was able to do all this stuff. Like, she was a fantastic cook. That was I guess that was the qualifying thing.
She was talented.
She was multifaceted.
Don't forget about this one.
I won't forget about it. I'm just making sure it's nice and grilled. I'm going to flip it over in a second. Where's my spatula? There. This is perfect.
Shall I bring the camera over? Oh, that's a little too charged.
No, that's perfect.
You think so?
You want it to be hot. Grill.
Quick little sneak peek.
Yeah, nobody wants to see our dirty grill. But okay, so we've added in the liquor, we've done all that. We want to add juice. I completely forgot to put this on Volta's instructions. Oh, what is that? Yes, there is nothing more synonymous with watermelon. Summer, then watermelon. Let me just butcher all the words I'm saying. Yeah, I'm going to use some grapefruit juice, because grapefruit juice and watermelon also pair together excellently. We are going to use about 1 ounce of that. We're going to use about a 1/4 ounce of lime juice. This lime and watermelon are also great. And we're also going to add, I'm putting this in just kind of ad lib. I don't have any saline solution, but I'm going to add just a little sprinkle of salt. Salt brings out a lot of flavor in watermelon. And then to offset that, I'm going to put in some simple syrup. That was the original recipe.
It says gum on it.
Gum syrup. Gum syrup is just simple syrup that has some gum Arabic.
Did you just use another
I did.
brand's
Yes.
bottle?
Yes, I did. I wanted to make sure nobody thought it was agave.
Okay.
This is a nice bottle. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good syrup, but
Yeah.
I just have.
Wow, way to recycle a bottle. I love it.
Yeah, I'm upcycling.
Upcycling. Mhm.
Upcycling. Thank you very much. And now I am going to take whatever I did with that thing. Move this guy over. Move this guy over. Over here. I'm going to take my nicely charred watermelon.
Oh my god.
Plop it down. Look at that. That is gorgeous. We want to take a little bit of that char and add it right into the cocktail.
Mhm.
So I'm going to cut off one edge like this. Oh,
Wow.
that's so soft and nice.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to actually just take the whole thing. And take that
Mhm.
and plop it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the photograph system. Before I forget, you also want to add some orange bitters. Orange watermelon.
What about these guys?
I'm going to put those in the glass. Or pull
Yeah.
those out. Speaking of which,
Yes.
Yolanda.
Shout out to our friend, this sweet friend Yolanda. Last time we did a watermelon drink, Dan added too much water. But Yolanda said to use that mixture and make it into ice cubes, which we did. So now we have these delicious watermelon ice cubes, which is like an extra element of fun.
Extra fun, a little judge. Yes, and while she was doing that, all I was doing was just kind of muddling up that watermelon in the drink.
Oh, look how pretty!
Wow.
You don't even need alcohol. Look at it. Look at it.
Wow, I love it.
Oh wait, my hands are dirty. Let me see this towel.
Oh,
This
better clean it off.
highly absorbent towel.
So nice. So nice. Cool off that hot watermelon. Boom, 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 like this. Maybe turn that off.
Yes.
But, yeah, sometimes it turns on a fan.
Safety is key. Oh, look at that.
That
It's gonna be so delicious.
centered. All right. Pour this out.
We're gonna need a straw, right?
Yeah. A few more of these guys. Top it off. Go. We don't want to do
Is it
too
sharp?
much.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't want to do too much, guys, because we are going to finish this off with a big wedge.
Oh, thank you, Paul. Since you're asking, he wasn't asking. He said, "Love the melons." This is my watercolor illustration design on tea towels.
Since you were asking.
They are available for sale. Oh, look at that!
I don't know if you can see how cool it is with the hot watermelon. It creates some smoke. There it is. It's backwards. No, I don't think that. Oh, yeah,
you
it
can
does.
see it. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's so cool. Okay, now I have to try this.
Yeah, it's such a cool effect.
Sample this.
Well,
Oh, wow, that's so good. Very watermelon forward.
extra water.
Like there's like this unique. If you've never grilled a watermelon, it's really hard to describe, but it's like a very nice smell.
Yeah, because watermelon has sugar in it, so you're caramelizing it, but it's also
good.
giving some char, and ancho Reyes picks that up, and a little bitterness and sweetness from the Amaro Nonino, which by the way is made from an aged grappa. I did not know that. But yeah, they take a special grappa and they age it. I love researching this stuff.
But if people don't have necessarily like Amaro Nonino or ancho Reyes, they could still make this drink with just like tequila, simple syrup, right?
Tequila, simple syrup, grapefruit, lime. It's basically a watermelon margarita.
Yeah.
A grilled, like if you just make a grilled watermelon margarita, you're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you can also so the most forward note of Amaro Nonino, aside from all the complexity and uniqueness and fun stuff that's in it, is really just orange liqueur. So you can sub this with triple sec, with Cointreau. Grand Marnier is probably the closest
That's so
thing
good.
that you're going to find, or maybe Amaro Averna, if you happen to have that on hand. Those are all variations of orange liqueurs. But Nonino is kind of the best of them.
Yeah.
So if you have to pick one, I would say Nonino might be the most versatile of them. Probably pick if you had to have two orange things hanging around of liqueurs. If you had Nonino for a more savory, herbaceous one, and then you had Cointreau for a sweet, like clean type of orange, that would take you through pretty much every cocktail that you needed to make orange things with. Yes, I see you care so much about the nuance of cocktailing.
I just want to thank Yolanda. She said she bought one of my tea towels. Thank you so much. And she also said that I should use one of my watercolor designs to make a shirt. I would love to. That is literally like on my vision board. One day I want to find a way to like license my art and like have it into like t-shirts and full-on shit. Oh my god, like a full-on like business suit, but like watermelon.
Watermelon
Oh, that would be so cool.
So cool. Oh no, it's Patricia saying that Amaro means bitter. Yes, it does. Amaro is they're a family of liqueurs called digestifs that are designed as to kind of settle your stomach after you eat. So they all come from a medicinal background. They do not taste medicinal necessarily. Some of them do, but they are called Amaro because they were originally like bitters. And so if you have, bitters, that's where bitters kind of came from, is this idea that digestif is an accent to a cocktail. And there is a bitter element to them, but not so much as to detract away from the sweetness and goodness of the drink itself. Okay, Volta, I know you're ready to paint.
Yeah, I'm ready to paint.
I can see you reaching over. Okay, thank you. Any more questions?
Yeah. Feel free to keep asking questions. Just want, Dan, can you change the view to my view?
Yes. Screen. This is the primary one. That takes everything. That is not the right button.
If you're new around here, thank you so much for tuning in for the first time.
There we go.
Right now, we will proceed into
This one.
my favorite part of the show, which is the watercolor painting. We will be painting this watercolor cocktail, watermelon cocktail with watercolors.
Watermelon.
It's like,
watermelon.
sometimes I have to catch myself if I say watercolor watermelon, which one, if I don't say watercolor twice, or like, I don't know, just they're so similar. All right, so we'll get
Watermelon is so good. I just took a bite of it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a roasted marshmallow,
oh, roasted
watermelon.
wow.
like a s'more.
Oh my god, let's make Dan, we need to make a watermelon s'more.
Yeah, but like while it's still warm, people will understand. It does. It has like a very much a s'more, or campfire roasted marshmallow.
Yeah, that's so good. Alright, well now that my hands are all watermelon. Thank you.
Oh wait, do you need a towel?
Yeah, I'm good. Alright, so this is going to be a very simple one because we used a highball glass and it's just basically two parallel lines. So I'm going to sketch that.
Here we go.
And then at the bottom we're going to have one line that's slightly curved that connects them and another one that's kind of parallel that's a little bit on top. And just straighten this out a little bit. It's a little wonky. Let's see, and here at the top I'm going to have another kind of slightly curved line to show the top of the glass, and then another, so essentially it's going to be like a very narrow oval shape. So just whenever you're sketching, just remember to try to like break it down into the most simpler shapes that you can recognize. So, it's kind of like this glass is a rectangular shape. It's just got a couple of like curved lines, but mostly it's kind of like mug giant rectangular shape. And then for the watermelon slice, this is kind of resembles a triangle shape. So just gonna kind of go off to the side and do a line here, and then a line here. And then instead of like a big straight edge, I'm just gonna add a curved line here to kind of show that watermelon slice. And actually, so you see, I'm gonna erase this extra line here just so that it looks like this watermelon slice is positioned inside the glass. And then just behind it, I'm gonna add a little straw, and that's just gonna be two parallel lines, kind of like this. And feel free to adjust. I like to encourage people, like, this is just one way, one interpretation of sketching these cocktails. You know, if you make one that's in a different shape glass, I encourage you to try and like paint that shape instead, just for like fun, and just so that it like looks more like you instead of, you know, what I painted. Because this is my version, but I love seeing other people's versions. You know, it doesn't have to be necessarily like, there's no right or wrong way. It's basically what I'm trying to get at. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, so now on to the fun part. I do, and I love, but most of all though, I love encouraging other people to make art, because I know what difference it's made in my life. And I'm not saying you have to go out and like pursue this as a career, or you know, but it just like makes you so happy in your soul when you make art. Like, it's just like part of you. Do you have any comments?
Yes, I was just gonna say, before I get to the compliments, like, I feel like we need to get back to normalizing feeling good about being passionate about something.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong about being into a thing?
Yeah, call me a nerd. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you're an art nerd. I'm a cocktail nerd,
yeah.
computer nerd, painting nerd.
Yeah.
We're all nerds in our own way.
Exactly. Lean into the passion. It's like it's so freeing to like be who you are, like lean into the things you really love, because you don't have to, you know, pretend to like something you don't. I think that's so much work. That sounds like so much work to pretend, you know?
Or even harder to pretend to not like something that you do.
Oh yeah, that's even harder. It's like someone would ask me like, Volta, say you don't like watercolors. I'm like, what, I can't.
No,
that's impossible.
Why pretend? Okay, so getting on all this. Darnell back. Oh, he says, Mr. Drink, but the picture looks so good. I like that. And then Yolanda's asking about she made a simple syrup. Ooh. And she can't open the mason jar because the syrup got in the lid. Okay, I do actually have this, but you have to be careful. Make sure that you hold it with a rag, or, you know, a towel, something along these lines. You can melt the sugar. So what's happened is that the sugar has gotten crystallized and it's stuck on the lid. So you can pour a little hot water. Actually, technically one of two things have happened. Either as it cooled, it created a vacuum, and now you can't get it out because it's sealed, or the sugar is crystallized and you need to melt it. Mason jar is super metal, so you can't microwave. So if you have a kettle like this, you can kind of, you know, pour.
Oh my God, don't pour my computer.
I'm not going to pour on my computer, just demonstrating that there's pouring stuff.
You were really close.
Like, get the water hot, and then pour a little bit on the lid, and that should melt the sugar. If that doesn't work, then you can take the back of a knife or a counter and or on the counter and whack the edge of the jar so that it creates a little ding, and that'll break the vacuum that's been created.
Wow. Interesting.
Oh, and Paul is letting us know that yesterday was National Coloring Book Day.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Idea.
I have no idea either. All right, but back to my watercolors. That was a very great tip, Dan. Thank you. So I added a little bit of water inside of my shape. So I just painted with water this area. And then I mixed a little bit of this lighter orange with some magenta to get like this really nice kind of watermelon color. And now because I have a little bit of water here, I'm just gonna like start dropping this in. And you'll notice right away the color is just like so nicely starting to move into the rest of the shape. And that's of course because we have a layer of water, so it's helping this color kind of spread in. So this technique is called wet on wet, essentially because we added a layer of water first, and then we're adding a second layer of watercolors with water. I like to use that whenever I have a fairly large area to work with. Otherwise, I will use wet on dry technique, which means that you don't add water first, you just go straight into like painting on dry paper. And using that technique allows me to have a little bit more control over like smaller areas. So it just depends on like what you're sketching. But here I want to lift off a little bit of the color on left hand side. My light source is coming from here. I just want this glass to have a little bit more dimension instead of it looking kind of flat. And I actually might drop in a little bit more color on the right hand side. So an easy way to make watercolors look really good and like kind of like dimensional is really to just pay attention to having like some darker areas and some lighter ones. So having that nice contrast is just like appealing to the eyes. And it doesn't really matter what you're sketching, or even if your sketch like doesn't resemble anything like the real object you're painting, like that doesn't matter, but it will still look good if you just keep that in mind. So let's see, now for the watermelon slice, I am going to paint this on dry, so I'm not adding any water first. I'm going to leave a little bit of space here at the top for the rind, the watermelon rind. I'm just I added a little bit more of the magenta into the watermelon just so that it looks slightly like more, like has like a different, more vibrant shape than the cocktails that stand out a little bit. And of course I painted around this line just so that it looks like the slice is inside of the glass. If I were to paint over it, it would kind of look like it's, on top of it, or like, yeah, but this kind of helps give that perspective look. And then I'm gonna grab some green for the rind. And I mix in a little bit of this like lighter green with darker ones to get like a nice kind of in between. And I'm just gonna keep it very simple, just add a little watermelon rind. And then for the last few, something that sometimes will happen is like your highlight might disappear if you keep working on it. So just make sure to clean off your brush and then just go back in, lift, and then wipe again, and lift. So sometimes you might just need to reinforce this like just a few more times until the whole like area dries. So that may happen. So don't worry about it if you happen to have a highlight and then it disappears on you. So for the last step, I'm using a gray. It's what is the gray that Payne's gray. I think it's the only gray that I use in that.
I was gonna say.
I almost forgot.
I thought you were making a joke.
Okay, so I'm just using a little bit. I diluted the gray with a ton of water, so it's a very light value of it. But I'm just adding a couple of extra like little brush strokes so that it looks like there's like little shadows in the glass, and then it might outline these lines here. Just like very lightly, just to get the impression of that. And then finally, I'll add a little bit of gray to the straw. And we happen to use a metal straw, so that's why it's gray, but your straw can be any color you like.
Yeah, make a cool milkshake red white straw.
Yeah, those are fun. And another thing you can also do here is lift off a little bit of the paint from the watermelon as well, just so that it looks like it matches, the cocktail has, a highlight on this side, so does this watermelon slice. And also the straw as well would kind of make sense here, except that mine needs to dry a little bit because the green kind of bled into the gray, but it's okay. It's like one of those happy accidents, like Bob Ross would say. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a really fun one to play around. Like if you want to add, combine different mixes of maybe use a darker orange and a deeper red for like a more vibrant look. I actually did 2 versions of this. So this one, this is the first one that I did, and I was like, wow, that's like super red. But it was still fun, and I wanted to show you that you can.
Spatters doesn't help.
I know, experiment, but it was just fun, it doesn't necessarily need to look like the real thing, but it can still be fun.
Delphine says it looks so pretty and tasty.
Oh, thank you so much, Delphine. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. I hope this inspires you. What happened to our background? I don't know. Okay.
I probably broke it somehow.
Thank you for joining us. It's Watermelon Day, so I hope you get to eat some tasty watermelon in the near future. I've been eating these watermelons nonstop because they're just so good and refreshing. It's so hot in Texas right now that that's the only snack I can.
We're trying to arrange a watermelon eating contest.
Yes, with our friends. That would be so fun.
So keep an eye out on College Snack Instagram. There might be some reels about that if we can get it to work.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it works. But thank you guys. And if you're in the Dallas area, do check out Dallas Farmers Market on Saturday. They have the Watermelon Festival. And I think there's a Watermelon Festival in Frisco, at the Frisco Farmers Market in a week or 2.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's coming up as well. So if whichever is closer to you, definitely.
When is the Dallas Farmers Market?
It's this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah, at 9. It starts at 9 a.m. I plan to be there at 9 because it's so hot.
Yeah. So you'll be like you got tickets for it. You were provided tickets, but you're not doing like an activation at Central Market on Friday for the Hatch Chili.
Oh yeah. I'm just attending.
Yeah. So you'll be in attendance at the Hatch Chili Fest opening at Central Market on Friday, and you'll also be at the Dallas Farmers Market creative unveiling.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see the banner.
Oh my God, look at you! You're so famous. Yeah, it's a lot of people like watching it. And don't know, man, it's better late than never.
Yes, thank you. We so appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your week and happy Watermelon Day.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Oh, Yolanda's a good person.
Yeah, Yolanda.